Hey guys, what's poppin'?
What's popping, kernels? I am Jem, your typical college student gamer that follows the saying, "Do tomorrow, do tomorrow."
And I'm Amor, also a college student, and I say to always smile because you either warm their hearts or annoy them. Either way, you win. Welcome to Mais Corner, everyone. So, Jem, tell us, what are we doing here? What is this whole thing about? What is Mais Corner?
Well, my ISCON Corner has the goal of fostering respectful conversations regarding the different concerns and topics that interest the youth. We want to have the conversations that cross generations, backgrounds, and experiences. We want to have conversations that we would love to listen to.
And as for the name Mais Corner, it is a result of weeks of conversations and the telepathic communications of all our brain cells at 11 p.m. Naalala ko lang, when one of our team members suggested it, we all immediately loved it. It was a unanimous agreement. In fact, it was the first unanimous agreement we ever had as a team. But also, during one of those meetings, I remember discussing who is going to be the hosts. It was, I think, the last things that were signed up for in this team. Jem, what made you volunteer as a host?
Well, you see, I am actually very interested in starting a podcast as well as talking about different topics, sharing my opinions with others, telling stories. And I love telling stories and my insights to basically everybody.
And as for me, I wanted to sign up as a host from the start. I was just very hesitant. But like you, I also love stories, and I especially love how they can bring people together. But also, I love asking questions, and I love hearing the different answers that people bring. So I'm really, really excited that we have Mais Corner as a platform where we can have these conversations. And we hope that what you hear from us will be also insightful to you guys.
True.
Now, before we start off our first episode, Jem, where's your popcorn?
Oh, my popcorn. I think I left it in the microwave. I'll get it later, But
Madaya. Well,
I'm sorry.
I
So
followed
anyways,
I followed what's supposed to happen. I have my popcorn, sharing it with you all.
ooh. Pengen na naman dito pag pa-deliver naman sa house ko, I accept any donations, even one or maybe a whole bag.
Ikaw
So
na magbayad
anyways,
ng delivery fee.
true. No thanks naman. Never mind. So anyways, this is our first episode, Amor. Ano bang papag-uusapan natin dito?
Well, since this is our first episode, I figured we should have a catch-up. It's been almost 2 years since we've been stuck at home. Most of us thought that everything would be back to normal at the start of this year. We hoped. And I'm sure, Jam, you also hoped that sometime this year we would be able to go back to in-person and regular classes. But now there's like only 2 months left for 2021.
Grabe. Oo nga, no. I can't believe that 2021 is already ending. And not only that, but we have already been experiencing 2 school years at home. And I remember nga nung last 2020 when the pandemic started and everything, I didn't know what to do. I was such an extrovert. Well, me being an extrovert talaga, I love going out, almost every day after classes or anything. I love to go out to eat with my friends, to talk with them all the time, have some funny jokes on the side, mga kulitan ng mga trip-trip namin sa gilid-gilid, or like while walking down, we just see whatever we can see, cars maybe or even trees. But at the start of the pandemic, I remember, I tried to reconnect with friends, we go to Discord every day. We try to play games every day, and I also try to plan for my school, academics, since college life, pretty busy. A lot of requirements is happening, but things may not go as well as planned. For 2021, I have adjusted a bit, but not fully. I was pretty drained. So much akad, so much responsibilities, and I can't even differentiate, the difference between personal life and school life. But I'm still adjusting, still hanging. I still love to connect with friends, talk with friends and listen to songs. We eat together all the time, and we love to play games. How about you, Amor? How was your 2020 and 2021 like?
Actually, it's kind of opposite yours. As an introvert and someone who also experienced self-study curriculum in grade school and some high school years, I enjoyed having to study alone at home and managing my own time and keeping track of my own lessons. I was thriving at the start of last year. I was waking up at 5 a.m. every day. I enjoyed my classes. I was on top of all my requirements. In fact, it's the best I've performed academically in the past few years. I had a come on, let's do this, let's get this done mentality. But towards the end of 2020 and the start of 2021, I got very exhausted. I realized that the things I did in 2020, they were all very performative for me. It was me responding to a crisis in a very do what needs to be done way. And at the start of this year, I reached a point where I did not care about school. I did not care about any of my requirements. I did not attend classes for like a week or two. And I remember I submitted as a final project a video of me detailing my breakdown for that class. But I mean, I'm in a better place now than where I was at the start of the school year. And I'm learning how to do things better, not just in a performative way, but be at peace with what I'm doing.
I see, I see. I also feel, even though we're at the different ends of the spectrum, I'm an extrovert, you're an introvert. We still have those problems, that we encounter, similar problems that we encounter, even though we're really different people. But then, I really hope that we could get through, what we're experiencing this year. But there's this really good question that I dream of in my head almost every day, and that's like, what's the first thing you would do if things were back to how they were, Amor?
First things on the top of my head, I would hug my friends and I would probably cry when I would do that. And I would sit alone at the coffee shop and people watch. And I would love to go to the beach. What about you? What are you gonna do when all of this is when we're at the end of the line here?
Grabe yung beach. Parang nakakamiss ka nung pumunta ng beach, no? You'll just hear the waves crashing on the shore. And you're with your friends or families, just sitting there making cuento or whatnot. Have a drink or eat, have a bonfire even. But for me, I think when everything goes back to normal, hopefully soon, I would go with my friends, we would go out, we would go to maybe like a game board cafe or something, we would just generally bond, And even though na we talk every day, makikipagkwentuhan talaga ako kahit nauli ko na yung mga kwento ko sa kanila every day. Even though they're so used to my voice, I would still love to talk about my stories of what happened during the quarantine, even though they already know about it, And every day we would still go out, but like, go back to the malls. I miss going to the malls, shopping or like even eating in restaurants, just making cuentos with friends.
Yeah, it sounds like a dream. I'm excited for the day that happens. But while we're not yet there, let's talk about what we're going through now. What does your everyday look like, Jem? Like, what's your routine from the moment you wake up to the moment you sleep? Like, what do you do? And more than that, ano yung mga pinag-iisipan mo? Like, what are your thoughts, diba? What are your fears, your hopes, your wishes?
Actually, whenever I wake up every day, it's mostly that typical teenager thing to do is to look at their phone or whatever is happening. Maybe it may be on like social media or like maybe I got a text from my friends to hang out, And after that, we would go hop into a video call. We would talk about what we're gonna do for the day, what do we want to do, or like are we bored? Do we want to do something? Then we would attend our classes, with together, even though na magkakaiba yung mga classes namin, but we're still in Discord, we're still with each other, and then we would eat together and stuff like that, and then maybe watch a movie or maybe play games to actually de-stress from everything that happened from the day, and then go back to sleep and repeat the same cycle. How about you, Amor?
Well, for me, very different from you. When I wake up, I love to wake up before anybody else at home wakes up because I want to have that time to myself. I need to have that alone silence so that I can work best during the day. And after that, I cook breakfast, then I start planning my day, I start preparing. Then it really depends every day on what needs to be done. If I have to run errands, if I have to work, or depending on the tasks I have to accomplish. When I do talk to friends or meet with people, though, it's usually at night because my days are unpredictable, really. I asked some of my friends though, like, what does your everyday look like? And someone said it's a routine. I struggle to get out of bed every morning. I read. I have synchronous classes. I have schoolwork. I do my modules. I eat. I watch videos. I do more schoolwork. I eat. I take a bath, and then I watch till I fall asleep. Does that sound familiar?
It's almost it's even my friends, like they'll just read a book at times, they'll attend their classes almost every day. Our everyday lives look much more of like a monotonous cycle, and it's kind of scary, just for this to keep on going and drift away from what's actually happening outside of our of our bubble or space. And it's scary to also think about if we're gonna be stuck in this loop, for like a long time, maybe years even. And talking about fears, how about you? What do you think? What are your fears right now? Like maybe even your hopes or wishes or even prayers.
Well, my fears is that this will be going on for much longer than what we can actually deal with. And I don't know, I think it's also a group fear. Like I see it going on with our peers, that one fear is like, is there a point to all of this? Diba? Like, is there a point to classes even when we're missing out on the campus experience? And my hope is for us to find a way to be able to thrive and even perform excellently during this time, because we don't know how long we're going to be here for, right? We don't know how long we're going to have these restrictions on us, but I hope that we're all going to find a way to make the best out of it.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Actually, I could relate to how your fear of like this may go on for like even more years or even like what seems to be like forever for all of us. And it's kind of sad because I have friends, that would say that the time that we spent in quarantine is just lost. It's just lost because we couldn't bring back that time to our everyday life, like what happened, while we can see each other, we could go out. But then my hope is still that we could still make the best out of what we have right now. I've met a lot of people online as well. We get more opportunities to hang out with friends and our families every day due to the internet or Wi-Fi. Basically, you could video chat them, you could text them anytime you want. You could call them, whatever you want to do. But my hope is that with that this this pandemic or this situation would subside, maybe sooner or later, but we'll never know what the future would hold.
So we can only make the best out of what we have right now. I wonder though, because like, we're all stuck with our family at home, right? They're the people we see every single day. How do you cope with seeing the same faces day in and day out?
Well, how do I cope? It's parang nakakasawa siya, di ba? Like, you see the same people every day. You might even get sick of talking to them. But for me, as an extrovert, I have a lot of groups of friends. Sometimes I decide like, oh, I'll schedule when I would meet my friends or even my family outside where I live in right now. Maybe today it would be this group 1, tomorrow would be group 2, and then the very next the day after that would be some of my relatives, and then so on and so forth. But the people that I live in here, right here, the people that I live in, that I live with. I'm sorry. That the people that I live with, it's just a mutual thing of our lives. We see each other, we greet each other, we talk about what's happening in our homes. But essentially, we just adapt to what we have. Yeah.
Well, ibang-iba nga talaga tayo. Like, I don't talk to people outside my home every day. Like, at most, maybe I have like 3, 4 conversations, like video conversations with people outside my homes a week. But like dealing with being around my family every day, we really made a conscious effort to get to know each other better. Like we did the whole thing. We did Myers Briggs, cognitive functions, DISC assessment, just to get to know each other better. And it helped us get to understand our own thought process, decision making process, and even the reasoning behind the things that we do. And for me personally, it helped me understand them more, and it helped me be more patient towards them. And one solid advice that I learned is that I always assume the best out of every people's actions, because that way I'm more patient with them, I'm more understanding, and there's no unnecessary tension inside the home. Diba?
That's good, you know. The least that we want right now would be another problem at home, and we're already stuck at home, so we would be stuck with that problem, you know. But at times, you know, when you're when you're alone, how are you able to still enjoy, or maybe to find joy in the year despite all that's happening?
That's actually something that I had to learn. I realized that I have to do little things for myself. I find joy in little things. Sometimes I just have to journal to let out the emotions or even to process my thoughts. Sometimes I send an SOS to my dear friends like, I need to rant, can we please talk? Sometimes I write because I enjoy writing, and that's something that I do simply because I enjoy it and I have fun. It's just finding those little moments for me that make the entire every day to day worth it.
That's
Ikaw?
true. I really appreciate where you actually pointed about you know, self-care, where as well as you entertain yourself, you know, where you write or maybe read a book. I forgot, sorry. But for me, whenever I'm alone, I love to listen to songs, you know, just to get into that chill mood, you know, guys. As well as, you know, maybe play some instruments, you know, jamming sessions with myself or even with my friends. And I also enjoy being with my friends. You know, we play games, we make cuentos about what happened in our day or during our classes. You know, kung annoying ba yung prof, if you actually learn something new, you know. Um, and essentially, it just makes it feel like we're back to face. It makes each other's lives, you know, kind of more bearable for one another. We still tell stories to one another. We still like making jokes. It feels like we're just with each other in the same room, even though we just see each other through a virtual camera.
Yeah. It seems like we all had to learn new things and adjust a lot in for the past 2 years. What did you have to learn to perform better, to thrive in this new setting?
In this new setting, one of the things I learned, and it's really important for myself as well, would be self-care, you know. As an extrovert, I really love being amongst my friends, even though I was so tired before. Like, day after day, we would hang out or maybe some parties at the side. And even though na sobrang pagod ako, may alis ulit ako bukas or may lakad ako later, and I didn't really pay attention to self-care because I was still enjoying the time being with my friends. But when it came into quarantine, I experienced more of alone time, which I was really not used to, because you know, I'm an extrovert. I love hanging out with people, and I had to learn, I had to adapt to find joy in by myself. You know, I would like, you know, a while ago, like I said, like, you know, play games, listen to songs, I mean, and play some instruments, you know. So it's more of like a bit of like independence away from my friends, to entertain myself. How about you?
Honestly, more than anything, I had to learn myself. Like, I had to learn who I am. like get to know myself a lot more, because through that I was able to figure out like what are the things that freak me out, that make me have panic attacks, what are the things that are important to me, and how do I work best, like what's my work rhythm, what's my schedule. So those things really help me in the having to do independent work. But I mean, I haven't learned everything yet. I'm still in the process of learning and getting to know myself more. When I asked my friends these questions though, I found na parang similar din tayo sa mga natutunan. It's like one friend had told me that she learned that planners are her new best friend. I mean, yes, definitely, diba? They help people like us to keep on top of our game. And another friend also said that time management, and also that she learned how to be easier on herself. So honestly, more than anything, we all have a lot of shared lessons and experiences.
I see. I actually I kind of relate to you on how you would find yourself, to explore more of yourself during this quarantine, a lot of alone time. And don't worry, by the way, since the pandemic would not be ending soon, but hopefully it would be soon. But in my mind, for you, if the pandemic would continue for a bit longer, what do you think would the youth would need to actually live it through it better,
Oh my goodness. Honestly, I think resources wise, we have everything we need. We're very blessed to be a generation that has, our resources at our fingertips. Diba? Anything we need to know, we can know. But more than anything, I think we need the support and encouragement of the people who are older than us, like our aunties and kuyas, our parents, our teachers, like our leaders. Like we need them to support us and to help us through this.
For me naman, I would actually recommend that people actually get more friends by their side. But I do know, or I do understand that sometimes our social battery is running out, Minsan ako nga rin, even though as an extrovert, naubusan na ako ng energy makipag-usap sa mga bagong tao. That's why I just stick to my normal groups from now on. But then one of the other recommendations I could do would be people to find a distraction, so that we wouldn't be stressing out on the things that is happening on our day-to-day lives, or maybe something that entertains them, so that you won't be stressed out with all your requirements, all of your academics or even work. So basically, what I'm trying to say is people should try to find something new every day, so that it wouldn't be just a monotonous cycle of just waking up, eat breakfast, attend school, or maybe do your work and then sleep all over again. So yeah, that's for me. How about you? Sorry. Yeah.
But it's fun, like sharing what it is that we would need to survive this. But if in the ideal world, like the youth could have anything that we want, what do you think the youth would want to have?
I think there's one thing that the youth would want to have right now, and that would be the past. It's so general, I think what we want right now would be our old daily life, to go back to where we can see each other, to go back where we can actually go out without worrying about we might catch this like virus or something, or go out na mahuhuli tayo biglaan lang. But then I think what the youth would want to have right now as well would be more time for themselves, because every day we're actually burdened with requirements, responsibilities, work, academics, that sometimes we get lost in all of these things and we don't have time enough for our friends at times, or maybe even for ourselves. How about you?
What you said is honestly conversations I've had with my friends, like multiple times. Like they want things to go back to how they were. Or if we can't have that, they they want certainty about the future. Like they want to have something to look forward to. And they want to know that things are gonna be okay. Kasi hindi naman tayo like we're gonna be able to get through this. I know that. I really believe that. But what would really help is hearing the words, you're gonna be okay. Like, you're strong. Kaya mo to. Diba? We need that encouragement. We need that everyday hype.
I see. So, what you were trying to point out is that everybody right now would want that reassurance of
Yeah.
that of the future would actually be better. Even though at the back of our heads, we know that this soon or this will later pass. But at the same time, we're living in the present right now, where we're kind of like stuck with all of our requirements, our ACADS, and we tend to forget that things will soon be better. And sometimes we need people to actually remind us that, people would comfort us, or people would reassure us that this will get better. And sometimes through this, whenever we have our own problems, people tend to not understand us. Maybe
Yeah.
our parents or even our teachers, they won't have that gentle understanding of what we're going through right now. Um, uh, for you, what do you think the adults, like our parents, maybe our teachers, relatives, leaders, etc., would want to know to understand about what we're going through today?
Honestly, I just want to tell them, chill. Like, um, you don't have to worry about us so much. It's like, I understand that your worry and your concern comes from genuinely um, caring about us. But if you guys freak out, we're gonna freak out even more. Like, we look up to you. Diba? You're our role models, and we most of the times look up to you and look at your reactions to see how we react. But also, I want to tell them that, I don't know, we don't need you to solve our problems for us. We just need you to help us and be there for us. Diba? I think like, this is why we have Mais Corner, because we want to have these conversations even with our parents. We want to encourage these conversations. What would you add to that specific conversation?
Well, for me, I would like to inform them that we can't cope as easily as them. Naalala ko nga minsan my elders would tell me, "Oh, ganito kami dati. Kinaya namin ganito. We crossed the bridge to get to school, We walked to school, or like wala kaming wifi or internet, pupunta kami ng library. So dapat kapag kinaya namin yung mas mahirap dati, mas mahirap para sa kanila, mas kaya natin today." And that's essentially like the generation gap that we're having right now. But then I hope they would have that that kind of like gentle understanding that we're living in a new world right now, where we're kind of used to like having almost everything at our fingertips, maybe for research or maybe for entertainment purposes, and we just can't adjust as mature as them, because like they see the world now in a very in an adult mindset, and right now we're in this youth mindset where we're still discovering things as we speak, as we go
Yes.
on in our daily lives, as we go on with maybe even some kaka-graduate lang, we're going through work and we're trying to do job hunting as online, even though baka sabihin ng iba like it's like, oh, it's online, so it's easier. You don't have to go to your job. You don't have to go through the very nerve-wracking interview face to face. But it's more of like, kind of like for other people who are job hunting, like na kinakabahan sila because they're the people are like focusing more on their words. So it's more of our elders are like focusing on what we're doing right now, in what we're doing right now, presently, more than what we're doing online for other people or like for ourselves as well, you know.
Basically, we want to tell them just because what we're going through is different from what you went through doesn't make it easier.
True.
Like, please be chill. In order to flip the conversation a little bit, though, to prepare for this conversation with you, I asked some of these elders, like these are parents, youth leaders, and I asked them, what would you want to tell the youth? And honestly, I love some of their answers. I'm gonna read them. Someone said, it's exciting to think about the possible future that the young children have. They will be the future parents, teachers, presidents, business owners, leaders of society. And it's exciting to see how their sense of justice, righteousness, and integrity and compassion will play a role in society. I mean,
Wow.
thank you.
Thank you to our elders, you know. Although it may be nerve-wracking to hear that, you know, it's very intense pressure on us that we will be the, you know, the next leaders, you know, the next politicians even, or maybe the next doctors. But it's still kind of like a big relief that sooner or later we will take their place in on how to handle life, or like maybe to on how to enjoy life in their shoes, and we would actually gain more wisdom on how to adjust to things, and as well as to cope with whatever comes at us, since we're actually being strengthened in some sort, you know, in this pandemic. It's been a rough time, so the moment, you know, we come back to our regular lives, it's gonna be much easier for us to cope at other challenges that may come our way, you know.
Yeah, so true. Like we will get there. We'll learn, we'll mature, we'll be better, and we will do our part.
Mhm.
Someone here also said, and these are for students, okay? We're talking to you. Well, they're talking to you. For those who stopped school or are thinking of stopping school, and they feel or they're worried that they will have a late start in life, huwag kayong mag-alala, hindi yan. Even in the middle of life, you can start. And listen to your elders, but don't assume that we're right all the time. Listen to their advice, but you have free will. Exercise it.
That's true. Actually, don't be nervous to actually put yourself first in front of some responsibilities, because you could catch up to them later at life, you know. I mean, like, not maybe at like 50, you know, but like some years later, because we do need some care for ourselves, and there's still a part of ourselves that is still finding it hard to cope, despite that it has already been 1.5 years of us spending most of our time indoors. We are still trying to find out how we will balance our work, or even our academic life, and even our personal life. We have also been trying new things and hobbies to keep us entertained and productive with our rest.
And honestly, guys, kernels, like whatever it is that you have to do to take care of yourself, do it. All of your worries, your fears, and your concerns, they're valid simply because you feel them. Don't undermine what you're going through. Take care of yourself. And we've been sharing how we have managed or tried to manage our everyday and what are the things to make them more enjoyable. But we want to hear from you. What are the new things you discovered for yourself these past years?
And what are the new hobbies you've been doing? Comment down below and we will definitely read it. Pop those unpopped kernels.
And that's our conversation for today. All of our kernels have popped for today. I definitely enjoyed today's bag of popcorn. To keep you guys updated on some of the highlights and clips, you can follow us on Instagram at Mais.
Tune in for the next flavor.